How about a little Quorn tool and cutter grinder work this morning? Grown-up Quorn tool and cutter grinder work. We're working on the patterns for the tilting bracket this morning. And I'll give you a little bit better close-up view of these as we go along here. Now, of course, this is scaled up 33%. And I've already cut some doweling to build the patterns out of this, and I've still got a couple more pieces to build. But let's bring you down here to the bench so that you've got a better view of what's going on here on my little pieces. And I guess before we do that, we can talk about the original pattern. Now, this is the original pattern that I built for the tilting bracket, and it's what's mine was cast out of for my original Quorn. Now, when I started building this grown-up pattern, I anticipated casting it in this orientation and pulling it this way, so it was laying this way. I think I've changed that. When I look at the original here, I've got a screw hole in the top, so I would have rammed this up in this orientation and then pulled it straight up. A couple of advantages to that, maybe a couple of disadvantages. This is probably going to give a more uniform casting when we're done with it, just because it'll pull a little bit nicer. Pouring it in this orientation, we would have had to have all our draft from here on down go in this direction if we're doing, so we're tapered this way, rather than having it this way and tapered and being more symmetrical when we do it. So I think we're going to set it up, and I would have made the pattern the same way for either one of them, but I think we'll pull it in this orientation right here. So all I've done is I've cut a main dowel, and this is the main reference, is this section right here. This is what everything is built off of. So I've got a dowel full length for that, which on the grown-up ends up being 2 inches, I believe. What is it, about 2 1/8 inch. So that's how tall this section of it is right here from the dowel. From there, I've just set up another dowel which runs this way on this piece with our tilting arm, and we'll add the tilting arm later. And then this is our clamping boss here on this side. So I haven't formed material for this portion of it, but we've got these portions formed. So let's go down to the bench, take a look at it, and we'll start gluing it up. And today I'm just going to use body filler as an adhesive for this portion of it. And this is all pretty straightforward. There's nothing rocket scientist about this. So this is my main center column right here. I guess we could look at it a little bit better here. There's our main center column. This portion will glue on right here. And this is our smaller boss, and it will be set up slightly higher. So in line with center line of this. So what I ended up and did is I just took my little pieces that were cut to the right length, which would be 1 3/8 in this instance. I went ahead and set them on the lathe and just center drilled them all the way through. That way, when I sanded them, I could sand right to the middle of that dowel. So I've used that as a reference to mark the insides of both of them. So they're going to glue up basically in that orientation. And then for the tilting bracket, I've already cut it. It's 3/8 inches thick, but it recesses back about 1/8 of an inch. There's only 1/4 of an inch that protrudes out from the front of the casting. So I just set it up and took a Forstner bit and cut it down 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to add this after everything else glues, or everything else dries up, the other 3 pieces. But yeah, it'll go in that orientation right there, and then our little marker will come off of this side. So we're going to glue those up right like that to start with. That'll be great aplenty right there. We'll go to our fresh hardener here. That other one was getting pretty well used up. Sorry for that fan noise running in the background. It's worse than usual, but we've got a little rain this morning. It's cooled off a little bit, but it's still smoky as can be. And I guess it hasn't cooled off that much. When I walked the dog this morning, I was in a t-shirt and sweating like crazy. So it's still awful warm here, and we still got the smoke from the fires, but at least we've got a little bit of rain that's coming down out there that will hopefully do away with this smoke. They say that we're going to have fires until probably winter, some guys are saying. So anyway, orientation of this. Should have a flat surface to glue this all up on. Fairly flat surface. So our main dowel is going to go right there. Our high-tech adhesive is going to go right there just like that. And this one's going to mount right on this side, but it's going to be up slightly higher. So if we put it in there and then raise her up just a little bit about like that. We're going to visually align it by eye, because once it dries out, we'll take it over to the belt sander and face off the front and the back, so they're pretty well parallel. And I think we can go ahead and add a little bit of a fillet while we're right here. And we're already hardening up. So that looks pretty good right there. So that's what we end up with. Front and back, and this is our orientation. This is the top. This is our clamping boss here. This side is where our finger sits. Once again, right there, just like that. Straight up and down. And then we'll build out the other side. We'll get this side, let this cure up a little bit more, sand it down to get rid of most of the crap, then we'll go ahead and fit this one, and then we'll worry about our outside bosses there. All right, well, I went ahead, super glued my piece on the front. I touched both the front and the back up on the sander, relieved the back of this just a little bit, and we'll sand this and smooth this all up as we go along. But there's that part of it. This one we started off with a piece of flat stock and another piece on top. We went ahead, contoured this and this with a little cutout here, so when they're assembled they'll go together just like that. But before I glue them up, and I just super glued these parts together, and that's how I'm going to fix it. Then we'll go back and fill the edges, give it a light sand and fill it. I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a radius to this back end. And we'll just round the edges. This will get fly cut when we get to machining all of this stuff, so we'll have to just add a little bit of draft and a fillet in the bottom of this just to give it, then that'll get cut out later on. We'll leave it like that. It'll be easier to draw out of the pattern if we're lifting it upward. And once we get this done, we'll blend this radius around just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and radius the bottom, blend it all in a little bit. Well, we'll do a little hand sanding on this now. There's our outboard piece there. Go ahead and super glue it up just like that. And then it's going to be fill and sand. Call that good right there. There's a difference in size between them. So we'll let that super glue cure up a little bit. We'll start doing a little hand sanding, and we'll start filling all, adding all our fillets, any voids we've got, and things like that. Yeah, we'll have to sand a little bit. We've got a little bit inward there, it looks like, but maybe not. That's vertical. On a one-off loose pattern like this, why we can overcome a little bit of neutral draft. There's our pattern, ready for finish. We're going to start building finish on it now. So that's the way they look. We'll go ahead, build finish on it. I'll probably show you a couple of still pictures of that, and then maybe tomorrow we'll be casting one of these up. So anyway, hopefully you find this a little bit interesting. That's the way I do some of my patterns, especially one-off patterns. You know, a lot of times they don't have to be perfect, and you'll get good satisfactory results on them. There's a lot of machining that gets done on this part. So, you know, I just put a fairly good radius in here and around the inside, because this will all get machined away, you know. So for production stuff, we'd hold tolerances a little bit tighter, bring them in a little bit closer to finished dimensions so there's not as much machining on them. But when we're doing one-off stuff like this, why, it's not quite as critical as it is on a production item. So, you know, a lot of hand finishing, a lot of smoothing out, and a fair amount of machining, and probably more than is absolutely necessary. But like I say, for a one-off thing, I'd rather have a little bit of extra material and just machine it away to make sure I've got enough material than have something that maybe I've taken a little bit undersized and then have to go back and do another casting or make some changes to it. So that's just like this one as we go. I find a little place that could be a little bit smoother here on this. So anyway, hopefully you find this a little bit interesting. Comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. And next time I see you in this series, we'll probably be casting this tilting bracket. Thanks for taking the time to watch, guys.